Welcome to Jerusalem for this Inside Israel report, where we tell you what's happening in Israel and the Middle East. A new discovery on a Jerusalem pilgrimage road proves it was built by the man who crucified Jesus. This road is more than 2,000 years old, and millions of Jews, including Jesus himself, once walked its steps to go to the temple. Historians thought it was built by King Herod the Great, but National Geographic reports that a recent analysis of more than 100 coins found beneath its steps reveals it was actually built by Pontius Pilate, the man who ordered Jesus' execution.
This would have been like Times Square. You would have had on both sides of the road, and keep in mind, the road is about 3, 4, 5 times wider than what we see over here. You would have had shops, stalls along both sides of the road. This is the center of Jerusalem from a spiritual perspective, from a communal perspective, also from a commerce perspective.
Half of the pilgrimage road will soon be open to the public and will give visitors a first-hand experience of what it was like to worship God in the time of Jesus. A small Christian aid group called the Free Burma Rangers is miraculously saving lives in northeast Syria. Dave EUBANK and his team are on the front lines of Turkey's invasion, feeding the sick and rescuing the wounded. Hundreds of thousands of Kurds, Christians, and other minorities have fled Erdogan's forces. EUBANK says the Turkish army, along with its jihadist allies, are continuing the attack despite claims of a ceasefire.
We have to stop calling it a safe zone. That's the Turkish talk. It's the zone of invasion, of death, of genocide, of ethnic cleansing. All these hundreds of thousands of people are proof of that. I had blood on my hands from Kurds who've been killed there, and many, many wounded.
EUBANK is calling on U.S. leaders to do the right thing, and he thanks the Christians in America who are praying for his team. South Africa is the birthplace of the BDS movement and is no friend to Israel, but that didn't stop a group of Christian artists from coming to Jerusalem to bless the Jewish state through song and dance. A cast of singers and dancers brought to life the biblical story of Daniel in a Broadway-style musical. They said their goal is to stand with Israel even if their government doesn't.
The whole musical was created for the purpose of bringing it to Jerusalem. Part of the message that we've brought from South Africa is that the vast majority of South Africans are people that relate with Judeo-Christian values, more than 80%. And that's not reflected in our government's policy.
The musical was performed at the prestigious Jerusalem Theater, and it retold the Book of Daniel as an African adventure. It was a colorful, joyful, and bold message of support from Africa with love. You can see stories just like these this week on our Jerusalem Dateline program.